Quadrant analysis lets you assess performance along two parameters on a scatter plot, and it's very useful for decision making and is another useful application of constant lines. Now we are going to create this visual over here where you can set the value of the constant lines using slices. Now let's see how it's done. Welcome to How to Power BI. My name is Bas, and if this is the very first time for you visiting this channel, then make sure to hit that subscribe button. In this channel, I share everything I know about Power BI. Now let's create this quadrant analysis tool, starting off with a normal scatter plot. The dataset for this example contains Airbnb listings in Amsterdam. I'm still planning my vacation, and there are two important parameters on which I want to base my decision. One is going to be the average price per person, and the other one is going to be the number of reviews as an indicator for how popular the listings are. So let's create a scatter chart, and we're going to take the average price per person, put that one onto the y-axis, and then we are going to take the number of reviews and put that one onto the x-axis. Now I want to have one data point for each listing, so I take the listing ID and put that one onto details. So this already gives us the scatter plot. Now we want to add the constant lines to create the quadrants. So for this, we can go to the analytics tab, and then here we go to the x-axis constant line, and then let's add the first one. Now, this is the vertical line, so the one for the minimum number of reviews. So let's rename it as the minimum number of reviews. And then here we can hard code the value, and let's say that we want to have a minimum of 100 reviews. Now the same thing we can do then for the y-axis. So also here, let's add a new one. And this is going to be the max average price per person. Now here we can hard code the value as well. And let's say we want to have a maximum of 100. So now we have our quadrants on a scatter plot. Now what is the best one? Well, the one in the bottom right corner, because there we have an average price below 100 and we have more than 100 reviews. However, it is a little bit unnatural to have the best quadrant in the bottom right corner. Usually you want to put it in the top right corner. And to do that, I just have to invert the y-axis. So let's do this by going here to Format, y-axis, and here we can invert the axis. All right, that already looks a little bit better. So now that we have this, we of course want to set the values of the constant lines using slices. And we can do this in an easy way by inserting a new what-if parameter. So let's go here to modeling and then choose here new parameter. The parameter we can rename to price range. And here we want to have, let's say, a minimum of 0 and a maximum of 200. Now increments of 1, that's fine. And I do want to add this slicer to the page. Now let's say the default value is going to be 100. Then let's click on OK. And let's do this once more, but then for the number of reviews range. So I go here to modeling, new parameter, and this one we can call reviews range. And here we can go from minimum of 0 to a maximum of, let's say, 500. Increments of 1, that's fine, and the default is going to be 100. Also here, add the slicer to the page. So this gives us two disconnected tables that are not connected to any of the other tables in the data model. Then it also created two measures that return the selected values of the slices that were added to the report page. Now these are called price range value and reviews range value. Now let's rename them so that they become a little bit more intuitive. For example, the price range value, I could rename to max average price per person, and the reviews range value we can rename to minimum number of reviews. Now the same thing we can then also do for both of the slicers. So for the price range slicer, I'm going to rename that to the max average price per person. And then for the reviews range, we can rename that one to the minimum number of reviews. Now we still need to link the slices to the constant lines, which we can do by going to the scatter plot, then select the analytics tab, and then here for the x-axis constant line, which is the vertical one, there we want to not hard code the value, but set the value using conditional formatting. So let's click on the FX button. Now here we're going to format by a field value. And which field? Well, over here, the one that returns the minimum number of reviews. And the same thing we can now do for the y-axis. So over here, instead of hard coding the maximum average price per person that we are willing to pay, we're going to use conditional formatting. Also here, field value, but now we are going to take the maximum average price per person measure. Now let's see if this works. Let's put the minimum number of reviews to 75, the maximum average price per person to 50. You see the constant lines are moving. Now, which are the listings that I'm interested in? Well, the ones in the top right corner. However, it's not very visible just yet. So we can make it a little bit more visible by using conditional formatting. Now for this conditional formatting, we need a measure that compares the values to the selected parameter values. And on that basis, assigns each entity, each listing ID in this case, to a certain quadrant. Now let's first create a measure that returns the value of the quadrant that a certain listing ID is in. So this measure we can rename to conditional formatting quadrants. Now we're going to have two variables. The first one is going to check if the average price per person is below the maximum average price per person that we set in a parameter. And the second one is going to check if the number of reviews is equal to or above the minimum selected reviews that we want to have. Now let's create the one for the target price first. So here we have a variable, let's call it target price, which is going to be equal to, well, here we want to check if the average price per person is below or equal to the maximum average price per person. So this is going to return true or false. Then we also are going to have one for the target number of reviews. So here we want to check if the number of reviews is above or equal to the minimum number of reviews. So now we have enough information to assign each listing to a certain quadrant. So let's do this in a variable called result. And here we can use a switch function. And then as the first argument, we're going to have true. And then the conditions that we want to check for. Now for the first quadrant, which is the upper left quadrant, there we do have our target price, but we don't have the number of reviews that we want. Okay, so we have over here the target price, which is then true. And then for the second part, the target number of reviews, that one is going to be false. And this is then the condition for the first quadrant. So we're going to return a 1. Now the next quadrant is going to be the best quadrant, the most optimal one, where we have our target price and our minimum number of reviews. So both of them are going to be true. So target price, target reviews, and we then want to return number 2. Now then we have quadrant number 3, where we do not have a target price. So target price is false. And we do not have the minimum number of target reviews. So also that one is going to be equal to false. All right, if this is the case, then we want to return a 3. Now the last one, there we don't have our target price. So the target price is going to be false. And we do have our target number of reviews, a minimum. All right, so if this is the case, then we want to return a 4. Now, then we want to return the result in the end. So now that we have the measure, we can use it for conditional formatting on the data colors. So let's go to Format, and then Data Colors, and click on Conditional Formatting. And here we want to have it based on a rule. Now, the measure that we just created is going to determine the colors, so CF quadrants. And then here we're going to have 4 rules. Now, I'm going to change all of them to is. And then let's also change them to numbers. And then here we have the 4 quadrants, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now the best one is quadrant number 2. So that one needs to be green. The worst one is going to be red. And then the other ones are going to be blue. All right, so this is set up. Let's click on OK. And you see, it works. Now let's say I change the minimum number of reviews to 100. You see, it nicely updates. Now that conditional formatting rule, you can of course adjust as needed. So let's do another example where we only want to highlight those bubbles that are in our top quadrant. And the rest we're going to gray out. So I'm just going to create a second measure. So let's copy the other one and then insert a new one, paste it in here. And this is going to be conditional formatting. Let's say top quadrant. And then the beginning part we can leave as it is. We just need to adjust that second part inside of our switch function. So here I want to check if we're in the top quadrant, which is basically that second one that we had, target price and target reviews. Then we want to return a 1. And otherwise we're going to return, let's say, a 0. Now let's press enter, go back to our scatter plot, format, conditional formatting. And then here we just need to change the field on which we base it. So I'm going to switch to top quadrant. And here we're going to have only 2 values. Either it's going to be a 0, which means it needs to be gray, or it's going to be a 1. And then it needs to be, let's say, blue. Let's click OK. You see now only that top quadrant is blue. And just like this, I can keep on adjusting it further. Now let's say we also want to highlight those listings that have, let's say, a top host. Okay, now then I can go back to my measure and then add here another variable. So let's say var top host. Now here we want to check if the host is top host. So we can do that with a max. And then let's check for the host is superhost. And this needs to be equal to true. All right, now we can use that inside of our switch function. Now I want to have another outcome, and therefore I'm going to copy this line, put it above it. And here we're going to have another condition, top host. And if all 3 conditions are true, then I want to return a 2. Now let's go back to conditional formatting. Here we have a new rule. And here we want to check if it's equal to 2, because then we want to have green. Now let's click OK. You see now we have blue dots where we have a listing that's in the top quadrant, but where we don't have a top host. And we have green dots where all of our search conditions apply. So now just play around with the formatting to make it look like this over here, where we can set the values by using the slicers. And you see it nicely updates. And this is how you can set up quadrant analysis in Power BI. Now, I hope that you got some value out of this video. If you did, consider subscribing. And if you have any question, just post it in the comment section below. And I hope to see you in the next video.